Hey YouTube, I'm Brick Smith, and welcome to Forever Sorting with Kevin, Abraham, Bartholomew.
Thank you. You cracked the code.
I did. I knew I would. Kevin, how you doing? Welcome to your own show.
Thank you. How are you?
Fair to middling. That's a loaded question, wasn't it? You know how I am. Just keep on.
We're just keep cruise along.
Yeah,
Hey, thank all of you guys for coming back for another episode.
Look at them. They're here.
Forever Sorting.
And this was a regular episode, I swear.
It's regular. This is a regular episode. Thank you guys for sticking along with us for over 20 episodes. 21, 22.
29?
Are we?
Let me check. You keep talking. Also,
we're go ahead.
Kevin, it's just getting more popular.
That's good.
I'm proud of them for coming back. I'm waiting for them to be like, Kevin,
and we're done. Yeah. As I've told a couple other folks, this is not a forever Kevin story. This was started for me, only about me, and it'll always be about me. That's not the point of this.
No.
It's just so happens that we're starting with me.
Okay.
22?
22 regular,
okay.
Like 18 specials.
Yeah, nice. So we're gonna we'll do short intro this time because we've done some long intros the last couple episodes.
Yeah, I know. Did you see where Assembling Hope said he was like, boy,
got the Z's. Thanks, Reed. Appreciate it, Reed. Appreciate you.
Assembling Hope. Go follow him down in Instagram. Go follow him on YouTube. He does a show on Friday nights. Friday Night Bricks.
Friday Night Bricks with Chester B. Squirrel.
Yep, it is what it is.
It is. All right, everybody. So welcome. If you guys have any interest in following me outside of this program,
Kevin, tell us where I can find you.
You can find me on everything. So you can find me at Mr. Kevin Hinkle. That's my personal account on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you want to follow just my work as an artist, you can follow me at Mr. Hinkle Draws, or you can go to my website at kevinahinkle.com and see my whole portfolio and maybe even hire me to do a job for you.
Kevin does work.
I do work.
He hired Hitman. No, that's not it.
You want us to be swimming with the fishes, boss. So we're gonna take him down to the short pier. Yeah. So the long walk on the short pier. Yeah. So, but yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to this. If you guys, if you have any questions for us, put them in the comments because questions have kind of dried up over the last couple episodes.
I think they know everything,
which is. Hey, you know what? Maybe you do.
Maybe you do.
But I would love to do another Q&A episode. We don't really have a lot of Q's, though. So there's no...
You can't have any A's.
Can't have any A's without any Q's. So, yeah. And also, do you want to take just a moment to continue the Philly hype train a little bit before we get into...
Just real quick, I got to do something real before that because I thought about it right here. I'd just like to say hello to Dude Jude 20 and Collecting Bricks. Glad to have you guys.
Nice. Thank you for joining us again.
Yeah. Also, like you said, Philly hype. This is going to air. When this airs, I just got out of Jamie's back Lego room and Brick Jams, and we are prepping to get his stuff ready for Philly. Hopefully I'll have pictures and videos of us in the dark house that has no heat or no electric, no water. It's just a shell hull of a house that we tore down because of the hurricane. It's completely gutted now. But we're getting ready to go to Philly. Me and Mr. Jams and all of my friends across America. I cannot wait to see them. And if you want to know more about Philly Brickfest, you can go to, what's the website, Kevin?
Well, phillybrickfest.com is supposed to be live now.
I think it is live.
I think it is.
And also, if you have any questions, just ask me, and I'll ask Chad or Seth, the other guy. And also, you can watch last week's Forever Sorting. The one before this, it doesn't have a number, but it's the one with Chad's face on it.
That's the yeah, we have to name that episode later. That's I was going to say that's behind the scenes stuff.
That's post show business.
Because you have, I think, not to spoil things too much, but I think you said you had other special episodes planned for Philly or no?
I can't.
Because my instinct, What? Do you have a drone in your house?
I don't think it's in my house, but Can you hear it?
No.
Sounds like a lawn. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner outside.
I turned my volume all the way up. I can't hear anything.
Okay. Maybe somebody's just vacuuming.
It's that time.
Why would you not vacuum at 9 p.m.?
I was actually thinking for a second we were on to like a really awesome episode with like get some ghost freaking hunting going on.
That'd be great, but no, not around here. There's a buzz going on out there. It's not in my head, I promise.
So
sorry.
Before the drone,
yeah,
I was saying that my instinct would be to call that episode the Philly Brickfest 2019 episode. But if you have other plans, then
we just call it what? Philly Brickfest.
One. Okay. Which works unless you don't have another one.
I don't have anybody locked in for any more of them, but we'll I'll push some buttons.
Push the buttons. All right.
Thank you for indulging me on my Philly hype months.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Are you psyched?
Like I am. Like I said, I really enjoyed it last year. It was a wonderful a wonderful experience and just so incredibly different than the first year, which was so many years ago.
Yeah, it was.
So I hadn't had any exposure to the event since year one. So
honestly, ladies and gentlemen, you can thank Philly Brickfest
for this.
For this. Without that, this wouldn't have ever happened. So this was born in Philly, pretty much.
I was thinking, to be honest, the other day I was thinking, I'm like, how did this whole thing with Julian start?
Come on.
Like that was a real thing I thought. And I said,
really?
Was it really was it as simple as the Hotel of Philly?
Yeah.
Whatever is that her hotel that's the partnered hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Waking up for breakfast in the morning to go to the event the first day. And I was like, I recognize that guy. I've seen him on YouTube before.
Yeah.
And I went over there. I'm like, I recognize him from YouTube, right? Right. Something like that happened, right? That was a thing.
That is as close as I can recall. I believe it. I knew who he was. I was fangirling over the fact that it was Kevin A. Hinkle.
No, you weren't. Were you really?
I was. The second you walked away, I started talking to the people at my table about how awesome you were.
Because you weren't alone. But I didn't recognize the other two.
Am I alone?
No, you had two people with you.
Rick Smith never eats alone.
No, I think you had two people, maybe three.
Yeah, 2 or 3. It was. Yeah.
But I didn't recognize anyone else but you. I was like, I recognize that guy. I've seen that guy before.
This guy.
And that's how this all began. That's another episode of Forever Sword.
Yeah, that's closer to the end.
Closer to the end. Yeah. But last time we chatted before we took some detours.
Yeah, we just took a huge detour. Now, sorry, Reed.
Yes. Sorry, Chester. We were beginning to depart the state of Arizona and move to another state.
Didn't we just get there?
We did. We'd only been there for 9 months. But we were kind of tying up some loose ends from the last one, like some of the last little stories and things. I'm sure I forgot something. We'll probably flash back to it at some point.
Yeah. Probably, knowing you.
Yeah. And I talked about how I had to recruit my replacement in the store, going to the Build-A-Bear workshop, which I did.
That's so weird.
And that person did take over. So that was also, he's still there to this day.
Too bad the kid doesn't work in Birmingham.
Yeah. So one of the things though that I did while I was still working at the Arizona location before I moved, was we had a no. You know what? No, that was fully. I was fully in Texas when that happened. Okay.
Oh my.
No. So okay, I'll get to that in a minute.
Yes, please.
So yeah, Arizona was done, and there was nothing else I needed to do. So it was time to pack up everything again. I mentioned last time that I had to break my lease, which sucked. I had to pay a fee to break my lease, and move my family again via U-Haul. So we packed up ourselves again and moved across. I did not have the assistance of either Reed or Dan.
Oh, man.
This time we were all on our own. which was
that's because you only waited 9 months to move again.
I know.
Over a year, they would have helped again.
I would have earned some more assistance.
There it is.
So but yeah, we packed everything up. And I think I mentioned this last time, right? That we really like the school systems in Arizona. Those were the best schools.
You really did. You said you did.
And that was kind of a shame taking our son out of that. But life, right? That's what happens.
That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. So we did line up a new place without ever visiting. So as opposed to the Arizona where I had that last minute tour of the apartment complex and locked something in real life, didn't do that in Austin. So we browsed on the internet, we did phone calls, and we never physically went to the place we were going to live in, which is not terrible, but
Wait, where you? What city?
This is in Austin, Texas.
Oh, okay. You say you have family there, so I mean that doesn't matter then.
You
just move in.
Yeah, if worst case scenario, right? There's people that can help you. So we got an apartment, a 4-bedroom apartment in Austin, like in South Austin, which was very close to the mall. It was maybe like an 8-minute drive to the mall.
Oh, you got
which was awesome. Over a highway. You had to get on the highway though, but that's fine. And it was a 4-bedroom apartment. Are you ready for this?
I'm listening.
$865 a month.
I can live with that.
That was beautiful. I have dreams of paying $865 a month for rent. Those days are long gone, long behind me. But that was for a 4-bedroom apartment in Austin.
If you want rent that cheap, you need to move to Florida.
Yeah, I mean, and this was in 2009.
Nice.
So this is 2009 in Austin. I mean, that's not the same in Austin today, but it was nice. We did the trip. I don't think we did anything terribly exciting on the drive. We took the U-Haul. We were hauling the Honda.
Yeah.
The infamous 1998 Honda Civic, which we had for a very long time. Which if I haven't mentioned before, I'm pretty sure I probably have, but that was my grandfather's car. So that was
correct.
Yeah. Moved with that car. That car kept us going. So we got in. We moved in. Sweet. Good stuff, man.
Yes, sir. Stuff. That's gorgeous, isn't it?
It makes me weep a little bit. It's just.
I'm only in a 3-bedroom here, though.
Yeah, I pay a lot more for this. So we moved in, and the store wasn't ready. The store was nowhere near ready. I was actually, there was some delays with the construction.
Now, you say store, you're talking about the store in Austin that
that didn't exist prior to
not exist till your
anything arrival.
There you go.
So it was being built at the Barton Creek Square Mall. For anybody that's familiar with that mall in Austin, it's not a mall that I ever went to when I was living in Austin as a kid.
Oh.
I think I went there maybe twice in my lifetime. So Austin is a very big city. It's a very big city. It's gotten nothing but bigger over the years.
Yeah.
And so when I was growing up,
better than over here, Florida.
Yeah, I was in North Austin as a kid, and I get that. What does that mean? North Austin and South Austin are probably about an hour and a half away from each other. So it's a big city, and it is not like here where you can have a town called East Windsor, and then you could be at the east part of Windsor. Those are two different towns. There's East Windsor and Windsor, whereas in Austin, it's all Austin. But you have north part of Austin, south part of Austin, east side of Austin, west side. So
that's where they do the Tykes football show I watch up on or did watch on the TV.
In Austin?
Friday Night Tykes is what they film in Austin.
Yeah, it's a huge city. And like I said, it's gotten bigger. But so when I was growing up, I was in North Austin. So my mall was actually the mall that doesn't exist anymore. Eventually, it went the ways of many malls where it just got more abandoned and more abandoned and more abandoned. But it was
I got one of those here in town.
I think it was called North Park Mall. But so that might be wrong, but that was my mall. And so I never really went to Barton Creek Mall, so I didn't really have any familiarity with that mall. But I knew it was in my hometown of Austin, Texas. So I'm like, that's where we're going. Now, what was pretty cool when we arrived is, as opposed to moving to Colorado, as opposed to moving to Arizona, this is now coming home. This is homecoming.
Yeah.
So when that U-Haul pulls up, I mean, there is an army of family ready to like bring on the couches, bring on. I mean, the U-Haul has never been unpacked faster. It was just like, this is amazing. And yeah, we moved in. The apartment wasn't terrible. I don't know if we would have picked it if we had actually seen it with our real eyes. But we were there. We were there, and it wasn't awful. We were on the 3rd floor.
No.
So we had to go up the boop, 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 up the stairs with the, all that kind of stuff.
Nope.
That's a negative.
No, sir.
But what was kind of amazing,
Kevin, what was kind of amazing?
What was kind of amazing was
Kevin?
There was some delays, as I mentioned, with the construction.
Yeah.
Not major delays, but delays that pushed it about a month off. And so because that happened, the district manager, my old / new district manager, Mr. John, he said, well, you know what? I have a lot of vacation time banked up. And if we're going to get a month delay, I'm going to use it now so that I can come back when the store is ready. And I think that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I had pretty much an entire month to just get settled and keep getting paid salary.
I have been.
So, I mean, that was amazing. But so I didn't really have any real work to do.
Did you build Lego while you were out for the month?
I didn't do anything really. I mean, I had fun. I did have
sets. Let me ask you this. So if you have a month off from work, and your job is Lego, do you want to do Lego while you're off, or is it
Yeah. Oh, well, I enjoy it. I don't think I built anything because at that time, I really did not have a backlog of Lego sets. It didn't exist. So I mean, I could do some free building. I probably did.
Yeah.
But I didn't really have sets to build. And we didn't have like a company issue laptop. That wasn't a thing, especially not for retail managers. So I had a Lego email, which uses just Microsoft Outlook. So I could log in on the internet to Microsoft Outlook and log into my Lego email, which I had to do. That was required as hey, log in your email every now and then to see what's going on. But there was no store. I had no store. I had no staff. I had a month off, and my boss was gone for a month. So it was like, all right. So, I mean, I was getting information like from the contractors and stuff like, oh, here's your updated blueprints for the store.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was like, all right, that's cool. They didn't really need me at the store at all, but I did go a couple times.
I don't blame you.
And so I was like, I took lots of pictures.
You got them still?
They're on my Flickr account of all places. So
next week, get your Flickr ready. Get your Flick on. Get your
Flick on. Yeah. And those are nicely organized, so I can go straight into the folder.
I thought you did something right, Mr.
Right. But I know, but it was. So I showed up. I remember showing up to the mall, and the big yellow barricade was up. So it says, "Hey, Lego store's opening here soon."
Oh.
And I was like, "That's my store behind that barricade." So I went over there, and there was a door, and I knocked on it, and this big like surly guy is like, "Yeah." Like, can I look inside? He's like, no. I was like, no, you don't understand. I'm actually the manager of this location. And he didn't really believe me, and he definitely seemed like this is unusual. And so I showed him my Arizona store manager business card because I didn't have new business cards. I was like, look, here's a business card with my name on it. It says I'm a store manager of the Arizona store. I'm transferring. He goes, all right. So he just kind of like didn't really care.
Yeah.
After that, but he let me in, and he just went straight back to working. And there was probably about 3 other people there. Mm-hmm. Definitely an interesting lot of people. They're just like interesting, but they were going about their business. You know, they had headphones on, and they were nailing stuff on the walls or whatever. And the store, it was the ugliest, beautiful thing I've ever seen. It was a weird emotion. Like I walked in, and I was like,
disaster.
I was like, this is mine, and you could not really tell that it was going to be a Lego store at all because there was not a shred of yellow in that room. It was concrete. It was wood. Some of the tiling wasn't even down yet on the floors. There was a register, like that white register that you see in your mind, right? Like the classic, that was there.
Yeah.
And they were using it as like, there was no computer electronics or anything. It was just the cash register, but that's where they were using to like lay out the blueprints and the plans and stuff. And they were looking at it. There was no lights yet in the ceiling, so they had like lamps going on. And it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, but
it was so like, you'll see in the photos, like there's like garden hoses laying around. It's just like, what is this? And also, you know, the barricade was pretty far out from the actual store circumference.
Yeah.
Because you still need to accommodate room for like the front windows and stuff like that. So I was kind of like, I couldn't grasp a good sense of where the store like was gonna be.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh wait, the front door is over there, and like I said, there wasn't really the stuff you know from a Lego store wasn't there yet. So
Gotcha.
There was no yellow like racetrack around the store. There was no gray. There was no brick in the ceiling. I was like, where's the front? And so, but it was also big. It was a huge footprint. It was like twice as wide as the Arizona store.
Oh,
and I was like, man,
Kevin.
I was like, this is a huge layout. And there was also a really big, ugly column in the front. Like, so if you're looking directly at the front, to the left, like a big column. And I was like, man, what are they gonna do with that? I thought maybe they're gonna cut it or something. I was like, I don't know what that column. It's like right next to the door.
Yeah.
My district manager had said that they were thinking about maybe doing some fun graphics, like a Lego stuff on it, or bricks falling in it, or maybe fill it with bricks or something. I'm like, oh, all right, that's cool stuff.
That's a great idea.
But yes, I was there, and I had my digital camera. I didn't have a good phone for taking pictures.
No, of course not. No, it's not even when did the iPhone come out?
This is 2009. So I was like,
only the rich kids had iPhone.
Yeah. And so I had a digital camera, and I was taking pictures, and the contractors there didn't necessarily seem super pleased with it, but they also didn't seem super bothered by it. They're just like, whatever. But I was taking pictures of everything because I wanted to document this whole thing. I was like, this is so cool.
Did you never thought you were going to ever leave, did you?
No.
You thought you were home.
Every time I did this, I thought I was like, like I'm not going to leave. So yeah, I mean, you know, during that month, my boss, he went to Spain. So that was, I mean, hey, whatever. That's what he chose to do. Yeah. But he was in Spain, so he was like gone, like not checking emails, no phone, not being available by phone.
Do when you're on vacation.
Yeah, hey, that's what you're supposed to do. One of the trade secrets: people at Lego are not very good at real vacations. They tend to, I'm on vacation, but then they check email the whole time, and you get like they're out of office, but then they reply to it, and you go, okay. So whatever.
I put in my vacation for Philly, and I'm taking 6 days.
Yeah.
Instead of 5, and
those are real.
Yeah, and Matt's like Matt, the IT guy's like, they would even if I had the time, they wouldn't let me have this much time off. And we work at the same place, and I was like, oh well.
Yeah. There's different standards.
Tough.
Yeah. So yeah, he was out. So I was getting a little bit more stuff that I would not normally get because it'd be going to him. Yeah. But because he wasn't there and they knew he wasn't there, and he was gone for like a good 3.5 weeks because he had so much vacation built up. And he said, well, I'll just use it while the store's not open yet. Not to say that he doesn't have a whole district full of other stores to manage.
Oh, does he? No, he doesn't care about this.
But I was getting, like I said, a couple more things that I would not have normally got. Nothing super juicy, just like, oh, okay. Like things that I also really took for granted from my other 2 stores. Like getting the very first phone call from like the water delivery company saying, hello, we have received an order to set up a water fountain at your place of business. And I'm like, there is always a water fountain at the Lego store, isn't it? Like there's things that you just don't realize.
Store manager, you still missed on.
But it's just, I mean, I'm not used to like going, oh wait, someone once upon a time set this up and now it's a thing. Like, so I was there when like the Ozark Water Company or whatever set up the fountain for the first time. And they're like, so how often would you like your water delivered? I'm like, these things are so crazy to me. I'm like, they just always were. And so now here I am setting it all up. And a lot of that.
The man with the plan.
And the other thing too is my phone was, even though it wasn't really like working,
Right.
My phone was ringing fairly often because, again, there was no district manager. So if they needed to speak to someone that wasn't a contractor, they would speak to me. So it'd be like, hey, we have lockers to deliver for you, for employee lockers. Like, where do we? And so actually, there was a point in time near the end of the month where I was having to go to the mall often, only to like unlock a door and say, put it in. Or not even unlock, I didn't have the keys to the store. So I like knock on it and I would have to sign for the thing. Wow. And so like, but while I was doing that, every time I would go, I would see the store getting more and more closer to being a real store. And I kept snapping pictures when I go to the mall and be like, this is so crazy. And so it was so cool watching it get. I remember the first time I went and I was like, the brick is in the ceiling. I was like, it's a giant Lego brick. It's crazy. And then all the lights showed up because, inside the brick, you have the tubes. And like I showed up one day and there was like pallets of giant tubes. And I was like, that's going to go inside there.
That's going there.
That's going to go in there. And then like one day the glass in the front, all of a sudden there was glass there. And I was like, now there's a wall. But it was just cool. Like, but I was going to like receive these shipments of things. And it was pretty cool. So yeah, a lot of stuff started showing up, obviously, as it got near the end of the month. But one of the really big activities that happened was we had to do a hiring fair.
Oh boy!
And that was I was excited. I was like, all right, this is cool.
Well, hold on, before you start though, let me ask you this: why didn't you guys just pick from other stores existing employees? You could have got. There was already a Lego store in Austin, wasn't there?
No, not in Austin. There was 2 in Houston, which is about 2 to 4 hours away. I think like 2 hours away.
New employees wouldn't have minded relocating.
Maybe. And then there was 2. No,
if you're apple picking, Build-A-Bear.
Yeah, I know.
Why would you not hire from internally on your minions?
Right. We didn't. Well, let me keep talking. So,
okay.
So we decided. We didn't decide. We did a hiring fair.
Yeah. And
so the store was not open. It was still a yellow barricade, but the hiring fair was in the mall directly in front of the barricade. So we had like arranged with the mall to set out some folding tables, and we advertised it heavily with the colleges. Austin is a college town, so
I never knew.
Yes. So my district manager had apparently already had set up to have 2 of the employees from the Houston area store drive up and help me conduct the hiring fair.
There it is.
So one of them was a guy by the name of Ted, and he was the supervisor of the Houston Galleria store. Okay. And then the other person was a person named Matt, and he was the assistant manager of, I think, the same store. It might have been the other Houston store.
Okay.
But both of them, at one point or another, had worked at both Houston stores. So like they had cross pollination of this Houston stores.
They're able to know everybody.
Yeah. So they were going to drive up together from Houston and help me conduct the hiring fair. So it was going to be the 3 of us interviewing however many people showed up that day.
Sure.
And this was on a Saturday, like whatever, 11 to something, 11 to 5 or something like that.
And one person showed up. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, we'll see. They did, the HR people, they did pay for ads. They paid for ads on everywhere where you would put hiring ads.
Sure.
So it was highly advertised. I think we had 1,500 people show up.
Holy hell!
I know it was over 1,000.
That's crazy,
I think,
bro. That's crazy.
And the system that we set up, the 3 of us, I was told that normally a district manager would also be there, but again, mine was on vacation.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It became actually, as the month wore on, it became apparent that it was actually kind of important having a district manager. I was like, all right, especially in a new store. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I had a nice laundry list for questions for him when he got back. But the 3 of us, so they had a room at the hotel, a nearby hotel.
Sure.
So they could drive in the day before, check in, rest up, do whatever they need to do, because it was first thing in the morning. to do the hiring fair. So I offered to meet them for dinner the night before. I said, hey, I'll meet you guys for dinner at the mall. We can talk about what we're going to do the next day. So we went to the California Pizza Kitchen, which was at that mall. Okay. And so we had dinner. We had apparently, unbeknownst to me, an important dinner. Oh, but so we had dinner, me, Ted, and Matt. Right. And it was mostly about, who are you? What do you like? Tell me about your history. How have you worked for Lego? Like all three of us.
Oh, seriously, it was a forever sorting.
It was kind of like a forever sorting.
Okay, cool.
But it was good. It was really good. What I had no clue about until later was we had a game plan. We said, all right, I'll see you guys in the morning. Have a great night. I'm gonna go back home. You guys go to your hotel, whatever. Matt and Ted had a serious conversation about me. Oh, and I was like, okay. Obviously, they told me about this after the fact.
Sure, I imagine.
So Ted turned to Matt and said, I really like this guy. And Matt goes, of course you do. You guys are like the same person. Yeah. And I will say that when I first met Ted, I'm like, I like this guy. This guy reminds me of somebody.
Love it.
But he told Matt, he goes, I really like Kevin. I think he's really funny. I think he's really cool. And you know what? I would love to work for him.
Are you funny?
Sometimes.
Are you? Because
you're not picking that up?
I thought you were the straight guy and I'm the funny man. Has that?
There can be only one.
Have I been wrong this whole time? Am I the straight man and you're the funny one?
You know, like when you have magnets and you put them together, you can't have two of the same poles. Right. Yeah. So depending on the situation, we just flip the magnets so that it works.
We're magnet flippers. God.
Is
that why he loves us?
Hashtag magnet flippers.
Magnet flipper. Hashtag loves us.
Loves us. So he told Matt, apparently he had no interest really in leaving where he was.
Sure.
Obviously, he was looking to advance, as most people are, and he's a supervisor, so he's looking to move up to assistant manager. And apparently, John, the district manager, had asked him several weeks earlier or months earlier, would he have any interest in relocating to the Austin store, just out of curiosity. And Ted had said, I don't really know. It all kind of depends on who the manager is, because I'm not really.
Amen.
He's like, I'm not really displeased with where I am.
Yeah.
But I would be happy to move up and learn more, but I'd like to know who the manager is. So that seed was planted, and we had apparently a destined dinner. And he liked it. And so I had told those two guys, how about I come to the hotel and we can have breakfast together, and then we can all drive over to the mall together and start the hiring fair.
Heck yeah.
And they agreed. So the night before, apparently Ted had totally flipped in his head from, I'm going up to help this guy with a hiring fair, to, okay, now I'm going up to help this guy with a hiring fair, and I need to tell him that I want to be assistant manager. I need to make a business case that he should hire me. That totally was two different mindsets for him, which I can appreciate.
Wow.
But so the Ted that I met in the morning that day was not the same Ted I had dinner with last night. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
Okay.
But he was definitely nervous at breakfast, and he was not nervous at dinner. And I had no clue what was going on. I just like, hey guys, let's do the hiring fair. And so we met for breakfast, and again, we just kept continuing conversation from the night before, talking about what we were looking for in people for today. What are some good strengths that a new store should use.
Now, how old were you at this time, Kevin?
23, 22. 22.
Baby.
22.
Such a baby. Good Lord.
A babe.
Yeah. And how old was Ted?
21? 20.
Oh,
20.
He's hot stuff too.
I think he's 20, I think.
And he's already supervisor.
Supervisor, yeah.
He was, yeah. How old was the other guy?
Oh, he was older than both of us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because you're not talking about him.
He was 35.
Oh, that's old as yuck. Yeah,
that's old as yuck. Now that I'm almost done, it's great.
I'm going to be 41 next month, not you.
Old as yuck.
Yeah, I'm older than yuck.
So, apparently, Matt, who was the other that we were just discussing, found this whole thing hilarious because he now knew that Ted wanted to be my assistant manager and wanted to sell me on, you should hire me. And of course he's not going to tell me because they're friends and he's not going to break that trust that they have. And Ted now wants to do that. I don't know what's going on. I just think we're doing a hiring fair. So I'm like still here, like same guy that I was last night. But like I said, Ted was so nervous and I couldn't really tell why he was nervous, but he was so nervous. And we were at the hotel, having breakfast, and they had a breakfast buffet. So he went up to get some more food. And where we were sitting, we were like directly in front of the buffet. But like maybe 40 feet, 50 feet back, but directly.
Places to be.
And so I was sitting at the table, just like I am here with the camera, looking straight at the food. Okay?
Yep.
And so Ted gets up. He's sitting on this side of the table, and he goes to get food. Matt is sitting here, but I'm just staring forward, and we're talking, and I'm just kind of talking and just staring off and just staring forward. I'm not really like zoned out, but I'm looking at what's happening ahead of me. And so I'm just sitting here talking to him and listening to him, and I'm watching Ted go up there, and Ted goes to the buffet, and that day they were serving biscuits and gravy.
Mm-hmm.
And so he puts his plate. I've told this story so much. Ted loves it because it embarrasses him so much. So put the plate down. Ted puts the plate down. He puts his biscuits on it, and the plate's like a jar on the counter.
Nice.
Because they have like the serving trays, and then it's like you have like 3 inches or 4 inches of table. Mm-hmm. So he has the plate on it, and again, I'm staring right at him. I'm not looking. I'm talking to Matt, but I'm looking at Ted, and he gets this giant ladle of gravy,
and
he puts it on the plate, and it can't handle it, and the plate just flips, and it's all gravy just all over him.
Oh my
everywhere,
God.
Everywhere, and
Lord.
And I'm looking at all of this, and I'm like, huh. And then I stopped responding to what Matt was saying, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "Ted just spilled gravy all over himself," and he looks down, like horrified. He's trying to impress me. He's just like, his face gets so red. And he's like, God, I hope no one saw that. And because he told me he said that out loud. And he like turns. And I'm just, I was sitting there, I was like, hey buddy, how's it going? How you doing? And I would not let it go. Like I kept because that's how I am, right? And I mean, I'm not trying to like be mean to him, but I kept joking. I'm like he only brought one pair of pants with him. It was only for one day, right? So you only need your work uniform for one day.
Sure.
So he had his one work shirt, his one work pair of pants, and his one yellow apron. And so now he didn't have his apron on, so that's fine. Yeah. But his pants, he's covered in gravy. And I kept joking with him the whole time. I was like, Ted, it's a good thing we're hiring a bunch of college kids to work in a toy store and you are covered in white gravy. And he's just like, his face was so red. He's like, I'm sorry. I was like, and again, I have no clue this dude's trying to work for me. Like, I'm like, hey, he's a fellow colleague from another store. He's going to help me hire some kids. And he just spilled gravy all over him. He was mortified. And apparently, again, he told me after the fact, he kept sneaking away to speak to Matt. And he's like, Matt, I'm done. I blew it. Like, I can't recover. Like, there's no recovery from this. And he's like, I don't know, dude. He seems to be pretty amused. I don't know. They're having that side conversation.
That's great.
But yeah, so we did the hiring fair. It was a long day. Like I said, about 1,500 people. The system was that Ted and Matt were like the first line of defense. Yeah. So people would come in, they'd give their applications, or if they didn't fill one out, they'd fill one out then. They would talk to them first to see, are these people crazy or do they have a shot? And then if they really felt good about them, they would say, you need to go talk to Kevin for a second opinion. So I was like the second batch.
Oh, look at you.
Moving up, right? So I interviewed about 98 people out of that 1,500 people. Yeah. So that many people made it to me. There was a couple sly folks, though, that started to realize that the people that would go to me like we're in the running. Like, you know what I mean? Like people start to pick up on the fact that like, wait, so certain people are just said thank you and they go home. And certain people are told to wait and talk to that guy. Like, I mean, it doesn't take a scientist to eventually.
That guy.
And so there was some people that thought that it would increase their chances to be like, no, I'd rather wait and talk. And they're like, and it caught all of us a little off guard because it's like, that's not okay.
It's not how we play the game.
And, you know, to be courteous, the people that did do that, I was like, fine, I'll speak to them. But they would be like, that we don't think that guy is a good fit, but he demands to speak to you. And I'm like, fine, he can wait. But yeah, we had no surprise. Again, it's a college town. I don't think we had a single person show up that was probably over the age of 30. It was all youngsters. All the youngsters.
Babies raising babies.
Yeah, right. I honestly cannot remember anyone over the age of like 30, 35. And almost every single one of them was in college. So it was like, I can't wait to work here. By the way, I can't work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday morning, or it's like, okay, here we go. And so there was very few people that had that beautiful open availability, like Monday through Sunday, all days, all times. But it was good. It was a good day. It was a long day. After I finished the last person, the last person I spoke to, I did hire, which I thought was kind of interesting, or offered a job to. We didn't offer anybody at that time a job.
Yeah.
So I like had a way of marking on the applications which people I was like, yeah, but nobody there was offered a job in real time.
Okay.
And so I had a stack of papers. What I thought was really funny is that I remember hearing a lot about how it's like not good form to like put your picture on a resume, unless you're like an actor or a model, because then you're supposed to. But like if you're like, hey, here's my picture, it's like kind of frowned upon or whatever.
Yeah.
And I actually loved the people that did. I was like, I remember this person. It was hard for me after interviewing 100 people.
Sure.
I was like, who the hell is this person? And I would have notes written down, you know, but I'd be like, I can't remember who this person was. And then there was like a handful that I was like, I remember this person because here's this picture.
You're not sketching any of them?
No, I don't. Please stand still.
Yes, we'll be done in 20 minutes. Put your finger in the shirt.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we had it was a really good day. What I thought was also the moment of realization for me and Ted was when the day was done, and it was probably about 6 o'clock, I think, in the evening. Mm-hmm. And Ted finally decided to officially tell me he would like to be my assistant manager. And you know what I said? I go, oh, you were probably so embarrassed this morning when you dumped all that gravy on yourself. And he's like, yeah, thanks for bringing it up all day. I was like, you're welcome. But you know, he asked me, the way he brought it up is he's like, you don't have an assistant manager, right? And I was like, nope, it's just me. And he's like, do you have any person in mind? Nope. There was a job listing up.
Yeah.
Like there was a online listing for assistant manager, and the applications were coming in, not super hot and heavy. They were just coming in.
People have already worked with you and knew better.
Right. So I was looking at the applications as they were coming in. The one common thread, though, is that the people that were applying for assistant manager usually wanted a lot of money. I don't know if it was an Austin thing or if it was the title or it was the title plus Austin. I don't know what it was. But like I said, there wasn't a lot of applications coming in, but the ones that were coming in were like, I like to be an assistant manager for you. I want to make $75,000 a year salary. And it's like, no.
It's Lego. Get it together.
It's not going to happen. Yeah. So I told Ted, I said, nope, I don't have a person in mind. I said, I do really like you. I think you're very similar to me, and I think you're awesome, and I like your work ethic, and I like your story.
Wait, before I'm sorry. This gentleman, he grew up in Austin?
No, he's from a suburb of Houston.
Oh, okay. So
you guys
y'all were high school adjacent.
What does that mean?
No, like you guys went to high school close enough. Like you guys were in high school at the same time.
It's yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're and still to this day, like we're very similar. It's kind of like crazy, but you know, same interests, same likes. But yeah, I told him that you know, I would welcome his application if he applied. Mm-hmm. I said that I personally think that sounds good to me, and I don't have any reason not to offer it to you. But I did tell him, I said, I don't know if it's totally my decision or if the district manager has to have a say, because I've never gone about hiring an assistant manager before. Remember, one was just given to me in Arizona, so I didn't know. Now I'm obviously aware that the supervisors and associates, that's all my call. But I just didn't know at that other salaried role whether that was something that was totally in my realm or I needed an extra say. And I told him that. I said, you know what, you have my vote. Make sure when you go back you apply, because you need to officially apply and then submit it. But we'll see. And so yeah, he went back and like the next day he applied. But yeah, it was a good day.
And we're not even into the store. The
store hasn't opened.
There's not even a front door yet. There's some glass, but no front.
But next time we'll look at some cool pictures from the opening.
Yeah, that would be,
because I think we're at a good spot to close today.
Oh, are we? I never knew.
I think so.
Is it closing time?
Closing time.
Pineapple.
Pineapple is our safe word.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's day. We'll just call that day one in Austin.
Yeah,
day one.
Yeah.
I guess
it's good to be home.
It is. Glad to have you home.
Good to be home.
Yeah. So I'm Brick Smith.
I'm still Kevin.
And that's Kevin.
Hello.
And I guess we're gonna do the outro right now. From all of us here. The millions and millions of us from Forever Sorting.
All the millions.
The millions and millions of the Forever Sorting fans. I guess.
Normally we're really good at this.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little. Look at the face. You can tell. Remember, folks, you got to sort those bricks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.